I was running that for a while, maybe like 3 weeks or so, $10 a day. And it was getting like a lot of good traction.
Next time you create a campaign, instead of like sort of targeting by geography, you target based on engagement.
Well, ad one would be audience building, bringing people to follow my Facebook page. And then ad two would be retargeting that audience and then running that to the landing booking page.
The reason people get stuck this exact part of the journey is because when the majority of your business comes from Facebook Marketplace,
it's daunting because this is like how it's always been, but there's a ceiling and I'm seeing the ceiling for sure. Run into more of like a time ceiling too. I can only clean and post and pick up and deliver so much in one day.
All right, what's up? Looking fresh.
Just did a delivery real quick.
That's cool. And I think you moved into a new warehouse recently, right?
Yeah, it's been like almost a month now. I moved in like November 3rd. So yeah, it's been a crazy month.
That's great. That's really cool. It's cool seeing the progress that you've been making.
Trying, man.
What can I help you with today?
So I've been I had a few questions regarding like just marketing ads in general. So we were talking a while back, and since then I've been running some ads. At first it was like that messaging ad. And then I told you that, it was just like a lot of can kicker people who were just not serious.
Right.
So then I kind of looked on other people's ads on their like ad library and stuff. And I saw everyone runs the traffic to like Calendly bookings. So I kind of set it up to my website page. And then I was running that for a while, maybe like 3 weeks or so, $10 a day. And it was getting like a lot of good, I guess not engagement, but just traction. It was at only like 18 cents a click and like thousands of impressions, but no bookings. So I was wondering, what do you think I can change to convert those clicks into bookings?
How much money did you spend?
I think I was running it for $10 a day for about maybe 16 or 17 days.
Okay, got it. So like $150,
give or take.
I mean, you're sending it to a Calendly booking page, right?
Well, it goes to my website landing page, like just my homepage, and then right in the front it says book now, and then I also have a little floater in the bottom that says book now.
Got it. What's your website?
couchguysllc.com.
Let's take a look. So you're just driving the traffic to the homepage.
Right. And then I was talking with Keon, and he suggested I run it to the collections page, but I haven't tried that out yet.
So I think so just taking a step back. With the messenger lead form leads, that's your results are typical, which are like maybe you get a lead for $5 cost per lead. But then, 1 out of 10, maybe 1 out of 20 actually respond to you. That seems to be par for the course across the spectrum of flippers across the country that have run those kinds of leads. And generally, the juice is just not worth the squeeze because you'll spend more time like hunting. It's not even the money; it's like the time that you're going to try and spend hunting those people down.
Right. Like on that other ad, the first one I did, it was super good, like cost per message. It was like less than $2, super good. But I got like 90 messages and maybe one person bought it, but they didn't even use that. They just called my phone number and they said they saw the ad, so.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So for whatever reason, like the people that submit lead forms and respond to you on Messenger, it just doesn't seem to be like converting for couch flippers. I think your problem here with the book appointment call to action is pretty simple. You're sending them to the homepage where there's too many things that they can do.
Okay.
So when you're marketing, you want to give people a single call to action. So there should be like whatever you send them to, there should be one step that they can take. Whereas if you just send them to the homepage of your website, that's great. Like, okay, they can learn about you as a business, but there's not a clear call to action there. It's like, now they can go to, they can click on this book a warehouse visit page, or they can go look at your collection, they can go to the homepage, they can scroll.
They have too many avenues to get off track, basically.
Exactly. So then as I'm clicking through here, shop pre-owned, shop brand new.
Pick some of the CTA on that.
Yeah, the buttons aren't working. So if you're sending people to your homepage, it's very easy, I think, for them to get lost. Because now if these links aren't working, then what can they do, right? Like he's probably having exactly, and maybe they look at your inventory, and then they book a warehouse visit. But it's a little convoluted. You're giving them too many things to do, in essence. Sending them to the collections page isn't a bad idea. so they can kind of browse your inventory directly without having to take that extra step. Because like
then whenever they click on any item, they can just either click that book a visit now thing on each product, or they can hit it in that bottom corner.
Right.
What do you think about the overall look of the page?
It's okay. It's a little disjointed. So like you have this, which is like a stock photo, and then here you have it like something staged, and then here you have something outside of a storage unit. That's a little, yeah. So it's like, it's just the imagery, right? It's not consistent.
Okay. I think even on the collections page, I guess, as like those are some of my old listings that I'm still holding on to since I moved into this place. Once those filter out, everything should look more uniform.
So look, and remember, most people are visiting your website on their phone. And so if they go to your phone, if they come via phone, right? Like they're not going to see this menu at the top.
Okay.
Because it gets compressed into the same list, right? And so then it's just the calls to action. I would say from here, is there enough information for me to like want to book a warehouse visit directly from the homepage? Probably not, right? So they're going to have to dig deeper. So what that means is they're going to have to probably look at your catalog, come in a couple clicks, and then from the catalog, decide to book a warehouse visit.
Right. Okay.
So I think you're just giving people too many steps. I mean, and you've spent maybe $160, right? So it's still like early days, I'd say, in terms of the campaign. So yeah, clean up the website a bit, send them to the collections page. Also, this visit the warehouse thing, you could make this a page on your website. Oh, it is. Okay. Here it is. And then you've embedded the calendar link. But what you could do is you could make this a page on your website and then make the calendar link a subcomponent of the page. Does that make sense? You could like explain.
Yeah. I'll just have to go in and kind of fiddle with it to like see what you're saying. But so then it's like, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. So you create a landing page that like what I would do is just like create a page, like visit the warehouse page, right? Put all the copy for why they should visit your warehouse and like all the information about your business on this page. And then you make the call to action, book a warehouse visit. Okay. Right. And so, you
kind of make this page more like well-rounded instead of just having the Calendly on there.
Exactly. And in fact, the best thing to do is not even like this, you can access through the navigation or through various like buttons on the website. And like, I'm noticing like different buttons have different behavior. So for example, if you click here, book a warehouse visit in the homepage banner, it takes you directly to the Calendly.
Right. That's external, right? Okay.
And then whereas like this takes you to a page on the website with the calendar form embedded. So there's just some like attention to detail stuff that you need to do on the website. But like what you could do is like leave this up, like visit the warehouse, get all these calls to action synchronized, right? But like this stuff here presumes they're already on the website and they're clicking to like a page on the website. But for a landing page, you may want to like have a separate page for that. AKA like there's a difference between a page that your customers navigate to by clicking on buttons or in the navigation of your website versus a page that your customers land on because you directed them to it with an ad.
Okay.
And the difference can be that the landing page is headless, aka has no navigation, and then you provide them with a singular call to action. So you just get rid of all the...
That would be like sending them directly to the booking page.
I mean, basically you create the page, which like all the information you want to tell them about your business. Hey, I'm Grady. Maybe have a nice video. I started this business. I run it with my dad and my brother. And here's what we're about. Here's what you can expect from us. Here, and then you show them like some like selections of your inventory, some photos. Maybe even some of the stuff that's in stock. And then so all of the value propositions, all the differentiators, all the reasons why someone may want to come buy from you directly on that single landing page, no navigation. So they can't like click to other places on the website. And the only call to action is the booking form.
Okay, I see. It's just much cleaner. Yeah. And I could just do that through Shopify, just create a new page and then have it make it so that they can't click anywhere.
Exactly. You just remove the navigation. And then when you're building the page, you only have one call to action, which is the booking form. And the booking form is embedded in the page.
Embedded. Okay.
You just save them the step.
Okay. So make it embedded, kind of put in all the good deeds, all the value propositions, and then get rid of the navigation.
And it doesn't sound like you have a problem like with the initial impression if you're getting, 18 cents per click?
Super low.
So that's really good cost per click.
But you're having
what you'll find is that running successful marketing campaigns, it's usually not one big thing that makes a difference for you, unless you're doing something really wrong, in which case one big thing can change the outcome of campaign, but it's like a series of small tweaks and optimizations over time. And so, but yeah, right.
Spending enough per day
for testing purposes.
Okay.
If you spend like $100 and you spent $150 and you're not getting any conversions out of that, I think that suggests that there's something structurally wrong or some improvement that you can make. Now, if you had spent $30, I'd say no.
Okay.
So
I was just trying to think. I was like, I didn't want to be cutting it off too early. So I'm glad that you said that.
No, I think you've given like sufficient testing. And as we quickly look at your website, there are some like structural things that you could do to improve the campaign. So here are some additional ideas on the advertising front. So the first is instead of running it to a booking form, what you could do is try to run an ad to build an audience. So this is an ad that you run so people like check out your Instagram page or your Facebook page or wherever you're aggregating your customers and posting your inventory, and you try to get them to follow you.
Okay. Like you could probably do that with like a drop group.
I'm not sure what the mechanics of this are lately, but you used to be able to advertise your group. There was a specific way you could do that. I forget like exactly how to do it, but yeah, there was a way that you could like run a campaign that sends traffic to a Facebook group. Last I heard, I think it was at the beginning of the year, that was still working. I'm not sure if it still works today, but yes, Facebook group, for example, Instagram page, Facebook page. These are examples of like places where you could send traffic so that people just like you keep in front of those customers.
Right.
The other thing you could do is set up remarketing. So if people are following you on Instagram or they interact with your creative or they visit your website, you can put them into a special audience and you can continue, and it's like a remarketing audience, and you can continue to stay in front of those people.
Okay. And you can do that on Ads Manager basically?
Exactly. So what you do is you'd create an audience, and there's like an audiences section of of the Facebook Business Manager. And then you go put people into that audience based on interactions that they've had with your business. And that could be they follow you on Instagram, they've seen your ad before, they've gone to your website. There's some setup to get this tracking properly for the website. In particular, you're going to have to add a Facebook pixel to your website. Shopify makes that pretty easy for you. And then next time you create a campaign, instead of like targeting by demographics or targeting by geography, you target based on engagement, aka you select that audience you've created and you continue to. And so this is going to be your highest converting, most cost efficient advertising, right? Because
it's just more directed into people who have already seen you and already have shown interest.
You got it. So when people like, when you're advertising to cold traffic, they don't know who you are, they've never seen you before, they're less likely to convert, they're less likely to take action. But if it's someone that like knows who you are and you stayed in front of them 5 touch points, 10 touch points over a period of like a month, 2 months, 3 months, etc., they're more likely to take action. So this is a very common advertising strategy where you have one upper funnel campaign, which is like engagement acquisition,
just to follow the Facebook page.
Engagement awareness, and then another campaign which is remarketing targeted for acquisitions. The traffic that you have already sent to your website, assuming you have your Facebook pixel set up, you could target all those people, so it's not wasted. You can like go back and like try to squeeze some juice out of it.
For example, ad 1 would be audience building, bringing people to follow my Facebook page. And then ad 2 would be retargeting that audience and then saying, hey, y'all, check out whatever the collection, and then running that to the landing booking page.
And, the remarketing can already include people that have just been to your website too, right?
And now that the website's better, they're more likely to convert. Okay.
I mean, look, you're making moves and you don't seem disheartened, which is good because you're at the part of the journey where a lot of people get stuck. I mean, a lot of people don't even make the move to a warehouse. For you to have the balls to do that at your age, your ability to do this. So a lot of people don't even they get stuck in a storage unit in their garage for like years. And then they complain when Facebook, I'm not getting like views on my Facebook listings anymore, right? The reason why people get stuck immediately after making the move to the warehouse is they move into a bigger space, but they don't change anything about how they operate other than being in a bigger space. And so the majority of their business is still just coming from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, that's how it is right now still. I'm trying to break out of that cycle because I see how damaging that is going to be long run. It really is.
Yeah. There's only so far you can take it, just listing on Facebook. And there's like ways you can hack it, get other people to post for you, create multiple accounts. And so there is a way to like sort of hack that. But if you're just posting on one account, like there's just a limit to what you're going to be able to do there. The reason people get stuck this exact part of the journey is because when the majority of your business comes from Facebook Marketplace, it's very hard to envision a world where the majority of your business comes from your website or comes from something else.
It's daunting because this is like how it's always been, but there's a ceiling, and I'm seeing the ceiling for sure. Also, I feel like I'm starting to like run into more of like a time ceiling too, just where it's like I can only clean and post and pick up and deliver so much in one day. So it's like now I feel like I'm really gonna have to bring on some people, and then that's kind of annoying too because like I'm just not used to this overhead. The expenses are building up and like I'm seeing the margin shrink.
Very natural. You have to think, if you had not gotten started on Facebook Marketplace and you had wanted to open up a furniture business, how would you have done it? Like flippers get a little spoiled, a little complacent because, you know, they're able to find inventory for cheap. They're able to connect to customers for nearly free as well, right? And so they never really had to think about how do I acquire customers because Facebook was just handing it to you. Yeah. So just imagine like almost any other brick and mortar retail business, is not finding
customers.
They're relying on foot traffic and they're, paying to be in like a premium location where there is foot traffic, or they figured out some organic content strategy, or they figured out some advertising strategy in order to gain customers. And so from that point of view, you are starting from scratch, right? Like the experience that you have on Facebook Marketplace does not really leverage itself into understanding how to navigate this stage of the journey. And so once again, this is where people get stuck. If 95% of your business today comes from Facebook Marketplace, how does, that change? Like, how do you get 95% of your business from other sources?
So lately, or I guess just last week, I created a Facebook drop group, and I was thinking of starting to try and experiment with that. Only issue is I don't know if I should like be putting my full focus on the drop group or the website, or just doing them both, or what do you think? You know what I mean?
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how either of them are going to work, so maybe I should just give it a try.
I would pick one at a time. I think, look, to this day, there are still people that get the majority of their business from a drop group, but I also see that it seems to have lost effectiveness compared to like 2 years ago or a year ago even. So, but there, people still get business that way. But a drop group is not something that you can half-ass either. You actually have to like coordinate your entire production schedule.
Right. And that's
I mean, look, there's no right or wrong way about it, right? But it's just like, if you're going to do it, you got to commit. And so what people do is like, they do all their pickups like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They do their cleaning Thursday, Friday. They do their drops on the weekend, something like that. And so you have to think about, does that model, or, you just have to delay when you release your items to like a singular point where they all come out at once. And then you incentivize the people in the drop group to get first dibs, and then everything else goes out to your normal channels like advertising or on your regular pages or your Facebook Marketplace listings, right? So
it's a thing that like slowing down things overall.
So I mean, in general, I encourage people try the ad thing out, right? Ads, get your Google My Business profile, start collecting reviews, show up in local search, try to get word of mouth going, really focus on creating good content, good creative, good advertising. And people are getting results with that, because at the end of the day, like the advantage that couch flippers have in the market in general is just like you have quality, affordable products available immediately, like instant gratification. And normal brick and mortar furniture retailers do not have inventory at your prices with your sort of quality assurances. And you have like value added services too, pickup, cleaning, delivery, whatever. So you have a strong value proposition. So if you're able to like market that effectively, most people do well.
I also see that all the people, like all the higher up people in the space, they all use the website approach these days, and they've kind of drifted and filtered away the couch drop groups. Seems like the ceiling on that's higher.
I mean, look, you could build a multi-million-dollar business on the back of a website.
Right. I had another question too. So I was thinking about signing up for financing, and I was wondering, like Acima, probably just to start off, what kind of things should I know about before getting into that?
I mean, shop around. I know Acima is very popular. I think there are a couple other financing providers. I don't know them off the top of my head that people use, but it is a good option, especially if you're selling lower cost items. just because like your audience, maybe they have cash flow issues, right? And then your financing partner takes on the risk. But the assurance that you have to provide to your financing partner is that you're not just sending them like shit leads or like shit people to finance, even though they're in charge of the credit approval. And then I think, depending on the financing partner, they have different financing models. Some will like, charge it through to the customer, others charge it to you, so shop around, figure out like what's the best option, which has like the best interest rates. And then, different financing partners have different approval requirements as well. But we're probably going to come out with like a more comprehensive resource on like how to select a financing partner for your business. But it's a good idea. You have the warehouse, you have a business address, you have the website, so you can start offering financing as well.
Just because, I get people who message me once in a while and they're like, do you have financing? I'm like, I don't. So once that's in the works, I feel like that should be helpful in terms of just converting people. Because like, even though it is like a lower like market segment, like you said, just kind of shittier buyers, they're out there and they're still there to be capitalized on.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a smart, you should do it. Okay, cool. Hey, I got to run, but great catching up. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Keep up the good work. And yeah, look forward to checking in with you in like another month or so.
All right, man. Good talk. I'll see you.
Thanks, Grady. Bye-bye.